guys are so funny. You're trying to get me to do this stupid shit. And
she just whispered, "I'm a bad bitch," for anyone who didn't hear. Stop. 420.
I'm lit at Disney.
And the kids asleep in the bath.
There we go. A ball sack station.
That's what a business owner looks like. Hi, everybody, and welcome back to Tattoo Homewreckers. This is a podcast where we talk about tattoos, life, and everything in between.
Oh, you sound so professional right now.
It's the professional era. I'm in my professional era. I'm really just tired.
Mm-hmm.
My name is Callista, and this is my best friend Lou here with me
That's me.
to record. And I've got a black headband, and Lou decided to copy me.
And I went with my ear headband.
Yeah, it looks very, very cute.
We are makeup free today.
Yeah.
Because we are here to talk about seasonal depression, self-care, and like how to take care of yourself when it's fucking cold. And I understand for a lot of our like northern hemisphere, not a lot, but for all of our northern hemisphere like listeners, it's currently summertime there, but it is winter here. And we talked a couple episodes ago about how you realized that you were going through SAD.
S-A-D. Yeah, very much so. Yeah, it's been hard because I feel like I explained this the other day. What it feels like is I feel as if I'm untethered, like I'm floating 2 inches above the ground. So it's hard for me to be present. And there's just this giant like black cloud following me around, and it's just like hailing, and it just hurts, and it's icy, and it's cold. It hurts my body, and again, like I'm like, you think that floating would be a good feeling, but in this case, it's not. You know what I mean? Like it's just so hard to like, just be present and be grounded. Because I don't know how you guys feel, but whenever my mental health does poorly, and we've talked about this before, but yeah, it's that really negative self narrative of like everyone hates you, and like it really like twists your perspective. So you have to consistently just tell yourself like, hey dude, that's like you. You know, like, and that almost hurts even more, you know, because no one wants to be told like, hey, this is like your voice. But when your perspective is so fucked, it like gets kind of scary because you can't really like trust yourself in that moment, where it's like, okay, you just need to trust that like your friends do love you, and like you just got to ride it out kind of thing. And
there's stuff that you're actively doing, which is what I wanted to talk about today, is like what you're actively doing to like help with that voice. And like one of those things was we like were on a drive. We've been to Auckland 2 weekends in a row. And I'm just rubbing on my eyeball. Yes. That was last weekend and this weekend. Yeah.
Why time moves so differently too?
Oh yeah.
During winter.
Days feel really, really long. But yeah, I fucking forgot what I was gonna say now. But
Sorry.
You're good.
We were talking about Auckland. I just fucking drooled. Oh my god. What is happening on this podcast today?
We're dying.
Diva's down.
Both divas are down.
Both divas are
We've
down.
been walking into stuff. I tripped twice setting up for the episode. And it's just one of those days where, like...
I fully walked into the doorframe.
Yeah.
That doorframe's always been there.
I clocked my elbow in the corner of the hallway. Like, how the fuck?
Yeah.
And I hit perfectly on my funny bone. So, you know, it's fucking 2 o'clock in the afternoon. We're drinking coffee. So that way we can, A, warm up, and B, like... just feel a little bit better. But I did really want to record an episode to talk about, like, for you it's seasonal depression. I don't feel like, I don't know, mine might be a little bit of seasonal depression, but I'm trying to come for your shit.
No, you're good. You're not
but when
coming
you
for me.
described seasonal depression, like that's what it feels like when I'm in like the midst of like really bad like eating disorder, like body dysmorphia.
Yeah, where you can't, and it's scary to not trust yourself. You know what I mean? I don't know if you get like this too. I feel like a porcupine. So like little comments that are balloons pop on my spines.
Oh, yeah.
And it's just like, oh God, you have to like, again, like,
yeah,
it's not your fault that you're a porcupine right now, but like, you just have to remember that like these things are coming out of a place of malice. They're genuinely balloons.
Yeah.
You know, and then like, it's just the tiniest little things are just so big, you know? But yeah, that's I mean, with eating disorders
that's a great way to
too.
put it.
What?
Is that it feels like balloons like popping
Yeah.
like just constantly. You're like, oh,
you can't
ow.
help it.
Yeah.
Like that's a natural reaction to something fucking blowing up in your face, right?
Yeah.
But they're balloons, you know, they're not actually gonna hurt you.
Yeah. But they're scary.
But they're scary.
And in that
totally.
moment, they feel like they hurt.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like with eating disorder stuff and mental health stuff, where does one start and where does one end? you know,
Yeah.
with that. Like, obviously, I don't have an eating disorder, but like when it comes to, like, I feel like those two are very hand in hand,
Yeah.
right?
Mhm.
I could be wrong.
Yeah. Well, it was just the way you described it, where it was like you just feel like untethered. And that's like for me what it feels like, where like I feel like I can't in a sense of like I can't get my feet on the ground. Like
Yep.
no matter how much I'm trying to be like, can you just get your fucking feet on the ground?
Yeah, because when your feet are on the ground, you're focused, you're like locked in.
And I'm present and
present,
I
yeah.
feel good.
Energetic and-
yeah. When
yeah.
I feel like secure. And when I'm like in that space, I don't know like
Mhm.
what's like up and down. Like I feel like I'm kind of just like disoriented the whole time.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it too. Very disorienting.
Yeah.
And like the cloud for me too, like on a good day, it's like kind of like a mist or a fog. It's still there,
Mhm.
but it's so present, you know, and then on a really like in bad moments, it's just, yeah, it's like hailing down hard,
Yeah.
you know, and it just hurts. But before we get too far into it, what does your gender feel like
Oh
today?
yeah. I would say today I feel like an old teddy bear that's like super soft and really well loved. Like it's very loved, but like it's seen a thing or two.
Yeah, it's been through a couple of things.
It's been through a couple of kids at this point.
Yeah, seen some shit. That's a good way
Mhm.
to put it. My gender kind of feels like a caterpillar in a cocoon. So I'm in
Mm.
that phase right now.
Yeah.
where I'm just trying to like, I don't know, gain enough energy to make that other metamorphosis.
Yep.
One of our favorite podcasters / authors / people on Earth, Glennon Doyle.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure she's the one that said this, right? Where like with depression comes that beautiful spring though
Yes.
afterwards, especially with sad. So I'm looking forward to that because that's normally
Literal
where,
spring.
Literal
and
yeah, but it's so
and that internal spring.
it is so disorienting, you know, moving to a different country where the seasons are different. And I don't, I'm sure people have talked about this a lot, but for me, yeah, it's very disorienting. I had this like hopeful idea that maybe I would skip seasonal depression because the winter here it's cold, but it's like mild compared to Reno.
Yeah.
You know?
And it's like sunny outside.
Oh, thank God we still get sun. Like, thank goodness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're
Oh.
still able to go on walks.
Yeah, we were gonna talk about stuff that kind of helps us through our thing. Through
No, wait, talk for a second about
Oh, yeah.
like the skipping it.
Oh, okay, absolutely. Yeah, I'll spend more time there. Yeah, I thought I was gonna be able to like skip it, or maybe my seasonal depression wouldn't be so bad. So I think I talked about this on the last episode. So sorry, you guys, you're just gonna hear me repeat this, but this one was really subtle and kind of crept in on me, you know, because again, I just was hoping that maybe because the winters were mild, it just like it just wouldn't hit as hard.
Yeah.
But yeah, I know I still feel untethered. Luckily, there's more like foggy days than there are like hailing days, though.
Yeah. So I think
Um,
in that sense, like you are right. Like it
Yeah.
hasn't, because as someone who sits on the outside
Mm-hmm.
of you, like obviously I don't know what's going on internally, but as
Mhm.
someone who's like watched you for the last 7 years.
Yeah.
And I do mean that in the most creepy way possible.
Who's
Um,
actively stalked you from outside your
yes.
house?
Who has been actively stalking you and knows where you sleep.
Period.
I would say it's definitely like you're a little bit closer to the ground
Thank you. Yeah.
than you previously were.
Yeah, I definitely feel again. I'm like levitating, like maybe 2 inches off the ground.
Yeah.
Levitating is the wrong word. Floating. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just 2 inches off the ground versus like you couldn't even see me at that point.
Mhm.
Sometimes the fog just gets like so heavy that like
Yeah.
it's just a misty figure
Mhm.
floating around. You know.
Yeah, and you're like high up there.
Yeah. Ooh, spooky little ghoul, little ghoulish figure. But with that being said, I mean, it always feels weird. Like I need to dig into like why it feels weird talking about myself in a positive light. But as someone who's goal oriented, I'm just gonna go out and say it without making it weird.
Wait, do you think being goal oriented is a positive thing? That's
Yeah.
not just like a fact about you?
Yeah.
You attribute like positivity to that?
Yeah, I do.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm. That's a good way to actually dig into that. Like, why do these facts need to be positive or negative? It
Yeah.
could just be a fact.
Because I kind of see it as like the world needs. We're gonna go on a side quest for a second, y'all.
We're getting off
we're
the
getting
freeway.
off the freeway. We're going on a roundabout. I see it as like there are people that are goal oriented, so they have like you know, I don't want to say long term goals because I don't like the like where I want to be in 5 years. That never resonated with me. But like there are goal oriented people, and there are people that live in the present.
Yeah.
And then there are obviously people that live in the past.
Yeah.
But I think on like a social stance and on a like human existence, we need people that do all of those.
Agreed.
So I personally don't, and I understand like culturally, specifically in the States, because it's very like capitalistic, which drives that like entrepreneurial nature, that it is a like, oh, goal oriented is good. But I think they all like serve purpose. So for me, it's like a net neutral. So that is interesting.
Yeah, that I apply like a positive.
But it makes sense because you're raised in that culture where like, and also, you know,
yeah,
a non-white culture as well that has a very goal-oriented like
oh, for sure, absolutely
element to it.
Yeah, and like it's also, I mean, the culture in the house that I grew up in was like anything that was deemed positive, you shouldn't be rewarded for because that's just what you should be doing. Which is also probably a lot of the reason why I like kind of struggle talking about myself in a positive light. Especially in this headspace, I think when come summer, like I'm a lot better at it.
Yeah.
And I feel like when we first moved here, I felt so confident and I felt really good. And I felt like, don't get me wrong, I was scared. But I was like, wow, there's this like new light, you know?
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, what I was really like, again, present and really like active and just very, not strategic, but
deliberate.
And what's the antonym for passive besides active? I don't know. Yeah, very deliberate about like what I wanted to take with me from my life back in the United States, and then what I wanted to try and leave behind, or what were some things that I wanted to heal from, and how I wanted to learn. And lately I feel like, oh my gosh, like that has just taken such a back burner because now, again, as a goal-oriented person, my focus is just making sure that I hit like fruits and vegetables every day, which is hard because all you want is like comfort food when you're feeling like shit, I feel like, right? And my comfort food isn't actually healthy food. My comfort food is like burgers and like, I don't know, just anything unhealthy, really.
Yeah.
Is my comfort food. And trying to find ways around that are still tasty, but still also hit my goals. So that way I don't make my seasonal depression worse. And it's also hard when you're low energy like this. You don't have necessarily the energy also to work out, which means that it's this vicious cycle.
Yes.
So if you don't work out, then you're also not going to have energy. It's kind of weird how that works, right? It's like that.
And you don't want to fuel yourself because you don't have the energy enough to fuel yourself, and then you don't have the energy enough to work out. And then that like feeds into each other. Whereas like it is just naturally easier if you are like working out to make like, I don't want to say unhealthy or healthy choices, but it's easier to make more nutritionally dense choices.
Absolutely.
When it comes to eating.
I think for me too, when it comes to like working out consistently, there's a part of me that like wants to make sure that I also do better on other things. So once one of those falls out, then it's like, oh, it all kind of comes tumbling down for me. But yeah, so that, I don't know. My insecurities, I feel like, have been like such at the forefront of my brain that nowadays most of my energy mentally and emotionally is just making sure that I like address those things, but also don't react to them, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like,
which is also huge growth.
Yeah.
Like that is something that last year we talked about.
Totally.
That was something that you really wanted to work on. So you are still like moving forward on those.
Yes, because again, like one of the biggest things that I learned like last year was like processing your emotions isn't like just labeling them. You actually have to acknowledge them.
And feel them.
Yes, and feel them. Yes. Absolutely. So you have to do both. Because when you logic yourself out of it, that's not actually processing. That was a really nasty thing my therapist said to me. True.
You have to actually feel your feelings. That's why they're called feelings.
Yep, that's true. But that was gross. So yeah, that's where most of my energy mentally and emotionally is going. And then again, just hitting the like bare basics of like my goals, which is eating well and then working out. But yesterday we were on the way to Auckland, or maybe, I don't know, maybe it was right before we were heading to Auckland, and I was telling you about how like I'm trying my best to do like to pivot where I can, because the sun was shining and I was like, oh, we're gonna go grocery shopping, and I was like, oh, psych, actually let's walk Guinness right now.
Yep.
So walked Guinness because it was sunny, and like that really helped me out. And for the past like 2 days, we've been walking Guinness, and it's been sunny, and it's been nice to feel the sun on my face, and I feel like a lot more present. It's great.
You're just a sun baby.
I am such a sun baby. I like
Yeah.
really truly need to be outside and like breathing fresh air, and like it's just so beautiful, like just like I don't know, experiencing planet Earth. That sounds
Yeah.
so hippy dippy.
No, it
but, like,
doesn't.
it's so essential to like feeling better,
100%.
especially like during this time of year. So yeah, I've been working on that, and then again, just trying my best to like just add vegetables and like the most unhinged, like unhealthy foods. I'm like, if I just saute spinach, I'll still count that. Like
It still counts. It's still a veggie. It
It's
gets
still
the
a veggie.
nutrients in you.
so long as I eat it. That's all that matters. Who cares about all the cheese I just packed in with it? It's fine.
That
It's
does
fine.
not matter, because at the end of the day, you're only adding in nutrients. You're not subtracting the other stuff. Like, I think that's the hard part, is that like, I'm gonna like kind of project onto you like what I kind of think.
Sure.
So this could be wrong. So be like, no, that doesn't feel like it.
Mhm.
It feels like there's a part of you when you're in this like survival mode where it tends to be like black and gray.
Yeah.
So you're like healthy eating, unhealthy eating.
Or black and white. Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, black and white.
You're totally good.
And not much gray in there. So it's like healthy,
Thinking
unhealthy.
tattoo terms.
Yeah, yeah.
You're just
I'm
a
like,
full tattoo brain.
black and gray. But yeah, that it tends to be this like, okay, this is healthy or unhealthy, and is a little bit harder for you to see the like, hey, we're just adding in healthy habits to get through this, because again, it's winter time. You're supposed to be hibernating.
Yeah.
You're not supposed to be like fully fucking balls to the wall. This is the time of year where you have more time to reflect and relax and like actually rest, because during summertime, the days are longer, so you sleep less.
Yep.
So you're supposed to, on the ebbs and flow of your life, have these seasons of rest. And it's like every year we go into winter, and granted, every single year you get better.
Yeah.
Like you get better at handling wintertime, but every winter you're like, why am I not performing the same level?
Totally.
And you're like, because you're solar powered, bro. And
Yeah.
the days are shorter.
Yep.
You just have less fucking solar power, like getting you to your goals, but you're still moving towards them. But I do feel like the first thing that goes offline is that ability to be like, oh, nuance.
Yeah.
Everything has
Totally.
nuance, which is like, you're adding in veggies, and like your body is so sensitive to that. So like for some people, they're like, what the fuck? Why does it matter if you're eating fruits and veggies? First off, eat your fucking fruits and veggies. You as a human being should be eating about 800 grams of fruits and veggies every single day. If you are much smaller, then yes, you can eat less than that. If you're larger, you're technically supposed to eat more, but 800 grams is the correct amount of fruits and veggies. And if you're like, what the fuck are you talking about? Leave a comment, hit me up. I don't give a shit. I'll send you the meta study on it.
Yeah.
Props to EC with the Consistency Project.
Great
That's
study.
her entire thing. But like you are very in tune with your body, so you're very aware. So like you'll
Totally.
be like, I've been eating so unhealthy, and it's just that you had like a burger and like a sandwich that day, and then some sushi, and you're like, oh, that was terrible.
I haven't eaten any vegetables. Yeah.
Yeah,
Totally.
and it's been one day since you've had a vegetable,
Yeah,
or your
fair
vegetable intake wasn't large enough, so your body is like, hi, I need a little bit more than that.
Oh, totally.
But it's still like adding those things in, they just feel harder because again, we don't want salads this time of year.
yeah.
We
Totally.
don't crave them.
Yeah, and then we were talking about how funny it is that every year around winter, sorry,
Yeah.
it wasn't every year in July, obviously. Again, I'm used to July being hot. So it's so weird being all bundled up. But every winter I like rediscover that like, oh, I need to be eating soup with
Yep.
vegetables in it, and that's the key because it's so much more appealing to have soup and veggies. So yeah, it's just
Every year she rediscovers it. She's like, oh my God,
hot
pot.
So
I just
good.
need hot pot. Or she'll be like, oh my God, I just need like a big bowl of ramen with like a ton of broth and a ton of veggies. And I'm like, yeah. I'm sure if we went back a couple like years,
Yep.
then the podcast will say the same thing.
Totally. Absolutely. They'll be like,
Yeah.
girl, every
Like,
year with
every
this
year
one.
we discover it. It's
Yeah.
great. It's new. Because every year we both forget and we're like, oh,
Totally.
that's a thing.
Yeah.
We'll
Oh,
put it in our phone so we get a reminder
I
in like
should,
June
huh?
of next year to be like, start eating
Hot pot.
brothy soups.
Yeah, it's time to get ready. You
Yeah,
better
get the hot pot, bitch.
Get your hot pot recipe like on deck. You better be ready, girl.
Yeah. What else have you been doing?
So that's been helping a lot. Yeah, the walking Guinness has been helping a lot, getting a little bit of sunshine. Yeah, just incorporating vegetables. Oh, that I wanted to touch on the black and white thing really fast. Yeah, 100%. That's the first thing that goes in my brain during winter. So it's the same thing as like, when you said that, I was like, that makes so much sense. It's not just like my eating habits. It's also like the way that like I feel like I'm being perceived in the world is so black and white, where I'm like, oh, they have to hate me. If they don't love me, then they hate me. And then fun fact, when you're in this mental state, you're just convinced that everyone hates you all the time, which is so silly. Because again, like comments are never just comments. They're just balloons popping in your fucking face. So yeah, I just want to touch on that because that's very true. That's like one of the first like emotional functions that goes offline.
Yeah.
It feels like I'm on like so many metaphors today. For me, it feels like I'm on a ship and I'm just getting my shit like pummeled. And I've lost like, you know, the motors or like engine one's completely out. Yeah. Right. What are we going to do? I don't know.
Yeah.
We're figuring it out. We're just floating in the ocean now. But what else have I been doing? That's a really good question. I've been trying to sleep more.
Good.
With the help of Guinness. I think that helps a lot.
She just lays on top of her now.
Yeah.
Guinness will come over, see that she's on the couch, and lay on top of her. And we're like, well, you can't move then. You have to rest. Guinness is telling you it's snuggle time. Because, like, again, Guinness sleeps more during wintertime because you're meant to sleep more during winter. This is the time that you rest. So that way during summer, you can go out and have all the fun in the sun.
True that. Yeah. So I've been, just trying to, again, like sleep when my body's tired. Yes. Which is like such a novel concept. Because I feel like for all of our lives, we have been like just pushed through it, you know? And only when like it's like an emergency do you sleep, which is not a great way to handle that. Even though like
or pro with a fucking 20-minute cat nap.
Emergency or if you just put me in a car, then I'll fucking conk out immediately. That's not by choice, by the way. It's no consent in that situation.
So funny though.
Dude.
Every time, just head bobbing all over the place.
Around, I can't help it. I don't know what the car does to me that makes me like so sleepy.
Just soothes you.
It soothes me.
Yep.
Yes. But yeah, just finding sunny spots around the house even. Like and just editing in that sunny spot instead of like staying in my room or like, you know, staying in the dark. It's just like I don't know. I just need to be around the sun.
Yeah. You need your vitamin D.
Yeah, that's it. Journaling would help too, but your girl hasn't done that in a minute, so maybe we should do that. And then like nicer activities too. Like I played Palia for a little bit, and that like put all the dopamine back in my body, so that was fun.
I love that.
Yeah, lean into your hobbies more, you guys.
Well, and I was just reading an article about this, talking about how like women struggle so much with hobbies because we have so many additional responsibilities over men, where like the domestic duties fall so much more on women. Yeah. And then because women also hold the emotional labor for like their male partners. We don't have time for hobbies. And so like it's much harder, and also there's a lot more guilt for us.
Oh, totally, because there's a million things that you could be, I don't know, like doing your laundry, you could be doing the dishes, you could be meal prepping, you could be literally doing anything else. I have so much more respect for female painters than male ones. Sorry, guys. Yeah. You can quote me on that.
Yeah, you have a wife or someone taking care of you.
Yeah.
Like, that's just how that works.
Yeah, I've been wanting to paint for like ever. But again, like we've just been busy. So it's one of those things. But we'll have time in the studio, I'm sure, to paint soon. Anyways.
Well, you have to carve out time. So you can't just passively be like, hey, we'll have time. You have to be like, this time we're going to do it. And I think our Tuesday night painting restarts this coming Tuesday, I do believe. So
that'll help.
Yeah, then you'll have your couple hours accountable with our like accountability buddies.
Oh my god, I love them. Our little like art venture crew. Yes. Shout out.
Art venture, that's great. What it's called.
Yep. They're so amazing.
So you can get into painting again.
Was there anything you wanted to touch on?
Not when you put it like that. That's
okay. Sorry.
Weird now.
Well, no, it's not weird. I just wanted to ask because I don't know how much else I have to say about seasonal depression, Callie, other than I mean, if you're feeling the way I'm feeling, just write it out, dog. We got this.
Well, I mean, and also find things that help. And that can look like talking to friends. That can look like having someone else be like, yo, this is you every year. You have seasonal depression.
Mm-hmm.
To be able to say, hey.
I find too, most times the cure is within yourself. So I was feeling really isolated and really just like, oh gosh, I like just don't think that like I'm close with people and that people don't like me. And then I like started messaging people and turns out like you're fine. You know, so if you feel like you're isolated and you don't have any friends, maybe reach out to your friends.
Yeah.
That could also help. Again, a lot of the times these thoughts are a lot bigger and scarier in our heads, and if you just act on like maybe proving yourself wrong, then I would say more often than not you will.
Which leads me to ask, like, why when you're like, oh, everyone hates me, why you don't like ask, like when the balloons are popping, why you don't ask for like clarification.
I think that's not really something that like was taught in my childhood. So like even as an adult, it feels really foreign to be like, hey, do you hate me? You know what I mean? Like, hey, was that weird? You know, like that feels like so foreign to me and doesn't even register as an option in my head.
Interesting.
Yeah. So I'd much rather like find out through like, again, just messaging people and just being like, hey, great seeing you. And then them like messaging back, be like, good seeing you too. It's even simple interactions like that. I'm like, okay, cool.
Interesting.
Yeah. So that could also be something that would be nice to do, but yeah, it doesn't even register as an option in my head.
Just because you weren't taught it, or like it's not something that you want to like even practice, or I'm just curious.
No, I feel like that'd be a good practice to do. Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be a good thing to work on for sure.
That's interesting. Yeah. That's again, like if you're not taught it in childhood, like where the fuck do you get that from? I just realized we're talking to each other, so they can't fucking hear us.
Well,
because we're just turning towards each other.
Yeah, it's a little therapy session.
I want to talk about like I've been in the throes of like my eating disorder really bad. We don't have to go into like the depths of that because it's pretty similar to seasonal depression. But the thing that I actually wanted to tap on or touch, whatever
you can tap on
words
it.
Are the tap
Boink
touch
it.
on. Talk about is if you haven't been in a gym in a long time and you're like nervous to go back, and like I haven't been in a CrossFit gym in about 5 years since like just after like, well, still during COVID, but in 2020. And then I just started last week back at a CrossFit gym, and I've been working out at home, but over the years, like, I obviously this is no fault of you or Caboose, but like we used to all work out together, and then you guys kind of like petered out. And so then I tried to like by myself, and I was really consistent for a long time. And then it all just kind of like no one was working out anymore, or like doing like very minimal stuff, like kind of off by themselves. And so when we moved here, obviously with it getting colder, it's harder, and we don't have like our dope ass gym that we had in the States. So I don't have accountability, and then foods are different. So that's something I really struggle with, because like as someone who is autistic and also has an eating disorder, there's like foods that are safe foods. And here a lot of foods aren't safe because they put mayonnaise on a lot of shit. Like I ordered a fucking salad from a Mexican restaurant last night, and there was mayo all over it. And I just had to be like, too late, you're just eating this. So when you fucking don't feel good later, this is why. And so like, again, like having like sensory issues with food, and then also having the type of like eating disorder where I will like binge and starve, and like a lot of like hiding and squirreling food away. Being physically active is a huge like essentially like cure for me. Like it's a huge thing to help me regulate, so that way I don't feel guilty, because I've done so many things over the years that allowed me to kind of cope with my eating disorder in a way that I would get like nutrition coaches, and I would start like coaching other people, so that way I had that like external accountability. But now that we're in a place where like none of us like are holding each other accountable, because you know that happens. If you're in a family for a long time, you all get hella comfy, and no one's like, hey, I'm going to be the person in charge. And that was typically me, where I'd be like, okay, in my group of friends for the business, like we're going to rally. And I was in such a bad way that I was like, I can't do this. Like, I don't have the strength to hold myself accountable. So I recently joined a CrossFit gym, and I will tell you the difference between lifting in your 20s and lifting when you're in your late 30s, like, almost 40s, is a fucking game changer, because I no longer lift with like any sort of like emotion attached to it. I look at a workout and I know like what I can do, what I can't do, but there's no like shame, or if I have to like modify or lower reps. Or like the other day I did snatches with 35 pounds with a trainer barbell, which I haven't not touched a training barbell since like when I first started CrossFit. And I did Olympic weightlifting for a while, so like I can move weight, or at least I could back then, and had no like ego or like emotion attached. Like, wasn't paying attention to like what other people were lifting in like the sense that I had to like compete with them. I knew the moves I wanted to do, so I was like, okay, I'm gonna go light on this weight so I can have the most fun like doing handstand push-ups. And it's just genuinely something that has given me back that sense of control, because just like with seasonal depression, eating disorders are something that make you feel like you're very out of control. And so having back those little things that like make you feel like you're in control, which is kind of what happens with a lot of eating disorders, is that like it's the one thing I can control. So like if I'm starving myself, that pain is something that I control. Like that is like mine. And also, much like with depression, you feel like I deserve this. So to be able to take that sense of control and put it in something where it's like, okay, well, that pain still serves a purpose, but it's then like something good for you, is really nice. And then also to just go back after having 5 years out of a gym and be like, wow, I can just come in here and like genuinely not have like an ego, or like, yeah, the like need you have in your like 20s. And I would even say like into my early 30s, where I was like, okay, well, I have to be like the best at something. And I'm like, I do not give a shit. Like, I'm not going to be the strongest person here. Doesn't matter to me, because you know what I'm going to be doing? Having the most fun. And I don't mean having the most fun even like when we would go where it was like, well, we're going to have fun together. Where I was like, I'm just having fun, like moving my body and enjoying like that. I know that like it's going to get strong again, and I'm going to like feel comfortable within it.
Absolutely.
So.
Well, it's like, yeah, taking that power back, because when it's on the forefront of your brain, like your ED or like whatever you're going through, your mental health or whatever, then it's like, okay, at least I can like manage and work around it, you know?
Oh, yeah.
And yeah, you're actively doing things to help you out, which is like, you know, I don't know, it's important. It's nice too that like, I don't know, now we're all doing our separate gym stuff, which I think like you going back to a class is refreshing, because now you're on your own schedule. Like you just get to do shit on your own, and like now you're not worrying about like programming.
Yeah, it's still really sad for me, because I loved those times when we all worked out together. Like that's a really connecting and bonding thing for me, because that's genuinely like play. So like I've talked to Caboose about that, where I was like, I will miss those days forever, because that was such a fundamental part of my life that then I got to do with my friends. But it is nice to be like, okay, well, I don't have to like feel like I'm like pressuring anyone to work out.
Yeah.
Or having to like put my like workouts on anyone. So like it's not tethered to anyone, so you guys don't have to like feel responsible or feel guilty for that.
No,
but
totally.
like, yeah, I don't look at it as like, oh, it's a good thing. Like it's something that I will miss forever.
Well, I mean, we can definitely start doing it, but you know, it's hard as well as adults. Like now we all have different schedules. Like for example, I only really like working out in the mornings, you know, so it's hard when you're in a space where like you want to work out in the afternoons. And I'm like, well, if I don't do this first thing in the morning, then it just won't get done, you know? So it also comes down to like just individual like schedules and whatnot. But yeah, we can always schedule at least one workout together, I guess. If that's something that you want, then we can do that.
We'll see.
But, okay, that's fine. Whatever. As far as like, I don't know, growth in like dealing with your ED, if you're comfortable with saying this, with how long you've been dealing with it, do you see any progress with how you've been like, you know, going through it? Or is it like kind of a different battle every time?
No, yeah. I mean, it's like alcoholism or like a drug addiction. Like you relapse. And so I don't think that like I now know that I will never be like completely out of it. So it will be something that I carry forever.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like each time is different because what triggers it are always different.
Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah. So yeah, it's a different battle every time.
Yeah.
So you never know what you're walking into, kind of thing.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Because it's so based on the environment.
Mm-hmm.
So like when when we had Safe Foods, when we all worked out together, like it's hard to explain. It's like being an alcoholic and then like all of a sudden you move in with people who are drinking all the time and being like, oh, I can't do that. So like I am so affected by how everyone else is working in that environment, which is also why I was like, no, I have to go to a gym. So I'm not putting like my mental health on any of you guys as everyone's doing their own thing. Like I have to like outsource that. But like, no, every single time it's just totally different. Because again, like grocery stores here are like massively triggering because they don't have like any of the foods that I know. They don't have low fat cheese. They don't have fat free cheese. They don't have like just straight up fat free Greek yogurt. So like, and my body does not do well with like high amounts of fat. Like it like genuinely feels sluggish. And the moment it starts to feel sluggish, then that's when I'm like, okay, now we don't get to eat anymore. And then there's so many foods here that are just like healthy foods here are not as like easily come by as like they were in the States, which is interesting because obviously in the States they're like, oh, well, it's, obesity is like an actual like epidemic, but there were lots of restaurants that were actually like healthy restaurants, so
conveniently like accessible for like on the go, especially with our job where it's like we're already spending so much time drawing at home and then editing as well, and then like you spend all that time doing that, then you spend time like, I don't know, going to the gym, and then you hope that like you have time to cook, but most times you don't. So then,
or if you're stuck at the shop,
if you're stuck at the studio and like all there is around you now is like fried foods, and that sucks. You know? Like
because their like restaurants are definitely designed more towards like indulgence, whereas the States it was like, okay, we had like places where I'm like, you can order like Chipotle salads, like you can order salads a lot of places and get them to go, and they were like I don't know, like nutritionally dense, whereas here it's like besides like Pita Pit, like Subway's not necessarily nutritionally dense food, so even though you can like do it, it's not gonna like keep me full for long, and I'm just gonna be like, well, that's like not really a thing. So yeah, but it's genuinely different every time. Like if I went back through, I could like going through it and be like, okay, what was the trigger this time? What was the trigger that time? And every one of them's different, and most of them just come from like a lack of structure and a lack of control. So like as the parts that I like relied on in my life just started to kind of fall apart and like just kind of step away, then it was like, okay, so then that's like spiraled you here. So it's like such a it's like a house of cards. Like it's so delicate that and like again, I thought for sure that I was like, oh yeah, I'll never go back here again. Like I fucking figured it out, y'all. Good to go.
Me with like being like, I probably won't feel it as bad coming to a different country with a mild temperate like climate. Yeah.
And then you're like, well, it's not as bad as it was. And like and it's hard because I don't I would love to be like, no, it gets better and easier. And I don't think with an eating disorder it does. Honestly, like for me, because I don't like conventional treatments on it. The research that I've done on like a lot of conventional treatments tend to focus like purely on the food part. And like I understand nutrition, so like that's not the part I struggle with, but it is that like having something and like having that ability to move my body. But I'm so, as someone who doesn't like, I don't have to feel when I have to pee, and I don't feel a lot of stuff. The one thing I do feel is like what food does within my body. Yeah. And then as like a way to cope, I learned all about like nutrition and all of that. But then when I'm in that headspace, that becomes its own like weapon, because then I know like how much each thing is calorically and how much it is.
Yeah. It's like that double-edged sword of like, okay, so this can help you, but in depending on how warped your perspective
Yeah.
is when you're going through this, it's also what stabs you.
Yeah.
It's also what hurts you.
Yeah.
Because then it's like, great, like I choose something that's convenient, but now I know exactly how bad it is for me.
Yeah.
Totally.
And like for me, like having muscle has always been like a protection from that, because like even when I got like really lean, when I was doing Olympic weightlifting, I was like competing in weight classes, like I'm sure to the outside world would be like, okay, well, you're tracking everything you're eating, like it's like signed up to like look like an eating disorder. But at that point, I never felt unhealthy with food. And so it's so based off of like what feels comfortable. And once I go over that edge of like, this is where you're at, and it's such a fucking fine line of like, this is where you're happy with your body. And the moment I'm not happy, then I just fucking full slide into just being like, okay, you like literally can't think of anything but your body all the time. And then like, you're just constantly like, I can feel my belly like hanging. And it's hard because like, I'm aware that I like conventionally to other people, no one would be like, oh, you're overweight. But you can just feel it all the time. And then like I see pictures and my arms aren't as lean as they are supposed to be. And so like you're just looking at being like, what the fuck happened to my avatar? Why does my avatar look fucked up? You know what it's supposed to look like. And it just like goes into that like spiral. Whereas like for me, so much of me is, monkey see, monkey do. So when that outside world is not like perfectly fucking done, and like one person steps out, then I'm like, oh fuck, what do I do? And like that's probably the nicest part about this is like going to a gym and being like, oh, I don't need to be like, I just get to go in and have fun. So like if that looks like I finish these workouts, great. If that looks like I go with super low weights, like great. So because I know now, having spent this many years working out, like what's gonna get me back to the body that like I feel comfortable in. So then like, even though like last night I literally ate an entire bag of salt and vinegar chips, and like physically I don't feel wonderful right now, but like whatever, it was fucking lovely while I did it. And I didn't do it out of like a place of like bad. I was just like, this is enjoyable. I'm enjoying every single bite of this.
This is why eating disorders are so complex, right? Because like when you have been making moves to kind of like, I guess, nurture a better environment for your brain to thrive in and for your body to thrive in, then like what would be considered like binging like a whole bag of chips
in like 4 hours
is actually like, and here's the thing, it's really complex because the way society deems it too, when people see you eat unhealthy stuff, like a lot of people are actually really encouraging about it. They're like, yes, go for it. Yes, work, like people are like, that's awesome. But you never know how that comment might actually make someone feel as well. This is a whole like, maybe we just don't talk about like what somebody else ordered, and we also just don't talk about people's bodies, right?
Yeah.
Period. Like, let's just like not, because there's nothing like more, I don't know, weird, especially depending on what kind of eating disorder you have, than someone being like, you look really great, but like they're going through the worst mental health crisis of their life. That's on the other side of things, right?
Yep.
And then having this like activity that would put you in a place, I'm sorry, it might have, I don't know, I would assume that it would put you in a really bad place if you hadn't been consistently going to
like 2 weeks ago when I did that,
exactly,
I was like, oh my god, like
shame,
hiding
shame,
stuff,
shame, yeah,
shame,
totally.
But then because I like once like I think like that for me is the trick, is like finding the thing that works for you, but then also understanding that just like with like sobriety, and I don't speak from personal experience, I speak from like being like with friends with people and like having clients talk to me about it for years, it changes. So like, you were my accountability buddy for working out for a while. Caboose was. And then like me coaching other people were. But like life changes, which means you have to like keep figuring out what fucking moves that.
Yeah, that's also really hard.
And like in the
like,
States, I couldn't, a gym wasn't it. So like I went to a gym, and then that
also
stopped being the thing.
Like our friendship started, I think, in the gym when we first started working out, but it was so different back then because like I knew nothing as well. So like a lot of our bonds were like teaching, and like learning and stuff. And I'm not saying that I know everything by any means, but it gets to a point where like now this like novelty is like worn off, and it's sad because that's what happens in relationships, right?
Yeah,
Where
well, and
it's,
that's
like,
the part
and
is like
that's what you said. It changes. Everything just changes, and like I don't know.
And when
people's routines
when
change.
you hang that like mental sobriety on that, then it can get really hard because you're like, I don't know what to do, and because like before going to a CrossFit gym wasn't enough. And I was like, that's no longer working because it's like a toxic environment. Like it was really bad. And then I had like, again, I've had multiple like nutrition coaches over the years, but then I can only have them for a certain amount of time before like
they get toxic.
Yeah, they'll end up being toxic because they're like, you eat a lot of fiber. And I'm like, look, I still have to binge eat. Like that's the only way that like I can't feel that I'm full unless I'm eating. Like I literally eat out of mixing bowls. Like
it's
I forgot what it's called.
Volume eating.
Yeah,
right?
volume eating.
You're a volume eater, so the volume has to be filled. It's just being more like I don't know, conscientious about what it's being filled with at that point.
Yep.
So like, I don't know, you could fill a basin with French
pasta
fries,
or cabbage.
Pasta, yeah, or pasta or cabbage.
Yeah, or what I do now is a bunch of cabbage. A little bit of pasta.
Yep. And it gets you there.
Yeah.
I mean,
tomato
you taught
sauce,
me
lots of egg whites.
You taught me about French fry salad is one of the greatest things, one of the greatest hacks that I've ever learned from you. So that's pretty great.
It's sneaking in the fucking veggies in there.
Yeah.
But I think that's the thing is that like that's probably the biggest takeaway, but every time feels just as bad. Like none of them have felt easier. So like that's that part when like with you, I'm like, oh, I can see where like each year it does get a little bit better. Like you'll probably always get seasonal depression.
Yeah.
But I do see where I'm like, oh, she catches it faster and she does this. And then for me, like, it's like when you're there, it's like Glennon talked about it. Like when you're there, you're just there and you're like, fuck.
Totally.
And having that realization of like, oh, it's always going to be there. But I wanted to go back to the like food thing because I agree, like, it sucks because again, like being someone where like with this sort of thing, just like sobriety with a lot of people, your environment's so important. So then it's really hard when like everyone's like, okay, I'm going to order like, you know, a bunch of junk food.
Totally.
And you're like, okay, well, I want to order a salad. But then like when you order a salad, people get fucking weird because they're like, are you okay? Are you okay? I know you have an eating disorder. And the moment you tell people you have an eating disorder, it's a thing.
Again,
and you're
also,
like,
maybe we don't bring it up unless you bring it up. You know what I mean?
Well, and it's
like
hard
so weird.
because I know that it comes from a place of love, but I'm like, but also I love salads. Like we went to dinner last night with a friend and she was like, okay, I want to be able to like enjoy drinks, so I'm going to get a salad. And I was like, I fucking love you for that because like, I didn't see the salad on here and like minus the mayo part of it. It was fine,
also,
but it was just gross.
Please just write down that there's mayo in it.
It's because they said it was coleslaw, but I'm like, that's just straight up mayo, y'all. Like, that was just mayo. I could taste it. It's fine.
Like, that's cute, but no, that ain't it.
Yeah. But like, it really helps me when people like advocate for themselves because that's that part where you were like, oh, I can't like ask people. Like, oh, do you hate me? Like, are you mad at me? Like that. I can't be like, are you ordering that because you feel like that's like the best? And like my brain just shuts down. I'm just like, order what no one's going to look at. Like if anyone looks at your food, then you're like, am I doing the wrong thing?
Oh, that's kind of how I feel about like, oh, if I ask people, do you hate me? Then I'm being vulnerable because then they can see my emotional order on my plate.
And you're like, oh my God. And that's like the shitty part. Cause then you're like, oh, hey, like, and like when you tell people, oh, I have an eating disorder, then everyone gets weird with food. And you're like, but
you're
if
like, don't.
But then it's hard because you know that it comes from like a genuine place of care where I'm like, but I'm okay. Like, and like when I'm not okay, fuck, dude, you can't help me. Cause for me, that is it's always going to be like, I'm so grateful that I found CrossFit and like I found different sports. Cause again, that novelty, you have to have that. Like for me, I coaching you is fine, but I liked when we were equals and we were competing because it was the goal and you had something and it was like, okay, that like dopamine that I get from working out will carry me through all the other decisions. And it just gives me like an anchor point. And so like, it gives me that like purpose, but also for me, like I have to pay for a gym.
Oh,
Because
totally.
like, am I working out in the morning? Yes. Is my favorite class 9:30? Yes. It's the most
Totally.
ideal
Well,
class
again,
for a
things
fucking
change, right?
yeah.
It's part
But
of
I have
it.
to pay for it right now to be like, I have to pay the $200, which don't get me wrong, that fucking hurts to pay that much.
Totally.
But it forces me to go 4 to 5 times a week
Yep.
because I went on Thursday
Mhm.
and then I woke up so sore because when you haven't done that level of CrossFit in a long time,
Mhm.
you wake up hella sore on Friday. And I was like, you could not go. And then I was like, bitch, you have to get your money's worth. So you need to go 4 to 5 times a week.
Mhm.
And that's also the correct amount for my brain and my body. And like, that's where it's happiest. Like, I know where like my brain and body are happiest. I know the weight. Well, the weight changes, but I know the like actual muscle amount, which is 68 pounds of muscle mass on my body,
Mhm.
is like where I feel like actually healthy, like mentally, physically.
Peak
And
sim.
Yeah, my brain's like, this is
Mhm.
it, bitch.
Mhm.
And I know that going to the gym 4 to 5 times a week
Oh,
and
yeah.
not a regular gym because like machines don't do it for me.
CrossFit is not a regular gym. That is not a regular workout
Yeah.
by any means.
But like that's like literally the stimulus. And I
Yeah.
am super grateful because like I spent a long time not knowing like what the answer was.
Mhm.
But I also know that like that's going to get to a place where like that won't be the answer again.
Yeah.
And that part's scary.
That
where
part
you're
is
like,
really scary.
okay, right now we're in the solution side. Like
Yes.
we're hitting our protein, we're building muscle back again.
Mhm.
We're going to end up like down in that place again one day.
Mhm.
And so like to know that it's always going to just be like there and you don't know.
Such is life. I think the trying the answer that previously didn't work is
Mhm.
also such a like doozy, right? Because again, at one point CrossFit gyms were just toxic and you couldn't do
Yeah.
it anymore. And then working out at home was the answer.
I guess that's probably to go
So
back to your question of like,
Uh-huh.
oh, is it get better? Like that's the part that is a little bit better
Mm.
is to be like, oh, now I know like this is what will work.
Yeah, there's it's interesting because it's like this whole catalog of tools to choose out of.
Mm-hmm.
But even if that tool didn't work in that moment, you might as well try it again. Or maybe
Yeah.
puzzle pieces might be a better metaphor. I have no
Mhm.
idea. But yeah, like at least now you know, like,
Yeah.
okay, that's in your back pocket of like, okay, so I could try this again. And if
Mhm.
that doesn't work, then like we're just going to have to figure out another
Yeah.
solution. And so that's scary. It is really
Yeah,
scary.
because I
And
know
that's-
that like it's a time frame of like how long it'll work. Because I'm like, okay, I'm hoping that I'm like if I build enough community in there
Mhm.
that when it gets to the place when like the programming isn't my like favorite type of programming.
Mhm.
So when I get to a place where I'm like, holy shit, like, and if I get to a place, but like I know my brain enough to be like, I'll get to that place where I'm like, I'm over this.
Mhm.
Then like, okay, so what are we gonna do? Like, what can we do at that point? Who can I like be like, hey, I need this like external like validation. It's the same thing as like when people talk about like people that start out with like AA and then they're like, you've been sober for 20 years. Why are you still going to meetings? It's like, because you need
Mhm.
that external like validation and that external accountability for
Mhm.
what you're doing. And like, that's probably the hardest part about like the eating disorder for me is
Mhm.
that like, I will for the rest of my life, more than likely, need that external, like, you know,
Like,
like
accountability.
yeah,
and-
accountability of
yeah.
like, okay, this is something outside of you because left to your own devices, that like voice that you don't deserve the body that you like
Mm.
want
Mhm.
will win.
Mhm.
Like that guy will win and you will almond mom yourself for like 3 fucking days
Mhm.
and then you'll binge eat and you'll just fucking keep going over and over and over.
Mhm.
And if anyone says shit about like what you're eating or like what you're doing or if you're doing okay, it'll just push you further into this hole.
Mhm.
So then it like makes it difficult because it's like you can't like no one can ask you about it.
Mhm.
Like because you saw that you were like, do you want to talk about it? I'm like, I don't know, you just made it weird. Like
Yeah.
the moment like I'm confronted, then I'm like, you have to retreat. So
Mhm.
it's like a hard place to be. So it's like you have to like again like put that like outside of you to be like, okay, I'm doing this for, and it has to be for someone else.
Mhm. Yeah. How do we get the
So,
system back online?
yeah.
Yeah, that's hard.
Yeah. So,
Ugh.
but hey, go back to the gym if you haven't done it in a while. It's fucking dope. That's like my favorite part.
Try the thing that didn't work out before. You might, you don't know, it might work out again.
Yeah, because if you would have been like, oh, hey, going back to the gym and you're not going to give a shit, you're going to be lifting with like a training barbell. I would have been like, absolutely not. I'm not going to embarrass myself like that. And I am not the slightest bit embarrassed and don't give a shit. And I'm genuinely just having fun. And I'm looking forward to like the gym tomorrow morning because there's some shit that I'm not good at. And like, I've always wanted to be able to do muscle ups. And I'm like, all right, this is it. This is actually going to happen this time.
Yeah.
And like the like self-limiting beliefs around like what I can physically do no longer exist, which is like interesting because I feel like by the time you're, you know, in your late 30s, early 40s, like that kind of category, people will be like, oh, my body can't do that anymore. And I've gone like the opposite way where my brain is like, whatever, bitch, let's fucking figure out how to walk on our hands. We've always wanted to. Let's do it. Like, you want to do a muscle up? Let's do a muscle up. And like that part's probably my favorite of like going back and just genuinely feeling better. I'll go on this one last little mini tangent, then y'all will be done with the episode. And it was a woman on Instagram talking about like no one talks about the positive side of like going through like menopause. And she was like, yeah, it sucks. Like we have the hot flashes and the brain fog. She's like, but you gain this like confidence because you kind of just don't give a fuck. And I was like, that's interesting. And then I was like, oh yeah, because like, what are you gonna do? Are you going to look and be like, oh my God, that's all you're lifting? First off, no one cares. And if someone does care about how much I'm lifting, I don't care if they care.
That's true. It's like that classic, you know, you kind of have like this like spotlight effect on you, but no one notices that you're like, I don't know, that your makeup was a little bit off, your eyeliner was a little bit wonky.
Well,
like no one actually notices.
And like the spotlight effect, like, I don't know, goes away. Like when we were at the like club last night and I'm just like looking around and you looked and were like, what are you thinking?
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, people can perceive me.
Yeah.
Because I'm just there like looking and like enjoying and watching like human beings interact because it was heavily packed and it was really interesting because there are some people right around us that are having a good time, but like 1 in every 3 people were not dancing and just had that like vacant stare of like, I'm over this.
How did
it's
I get
fucking midnight. Like, this is not it. And so it was like fun to watch them like kind of like you'd see people like mask up as their friends were looking at them like, oh yeah, I'm having a good time. And I'm like in a full place of like, wait, people are looking, because you do like reach this level of just being like, no, I don't care. Like, I'm not assuming anyone's looking at me anymore. Like when I'm in the gym, like I'm seeing people move and I'm like happy to see people like we're all working out together. But when I was younger, I was like looking at them to be like, oh, you know, with that like coach's eye of like, oh, you could do this better. You could do this better. And now I'm just like, that's not my job.
Good.
I don't notice you. Like,
yeah,
you're not paying attention to me. And if you are, I don't actually care that you're paying attention.
Yeah. You're like, that's your journey to go on. If you want to get better at that, that's on you to find out.
Yeah. And like that part's like hella dope because that's that part where like you're just, it makes it a lot more fun. To be like, I know what moves I like and I know what I want to play with. And I don't need to lift heavy weights like every time because like I have an ego. Yeah. When I'm like, no, I'm going to go a lightweight on this portion so I can have a lot more fun on that.
It seems like you're prioritizing joy in those workouts more, which is great. Like, yeah, just prioritizing joy, or maybe joy isn't the word, but like.
I would say joy, yeah. Because it just feels fun. And it's still scary because you're like, oh, fuck, like tomorrow it's like fucking, it's like, chest to bar pull-ups, and I'm like, oh, I haven't done that in a long time. Do I still remember how to do that? But then like again, being able to just, it feels like play, which is like what I loved about when we all worked out together was that it was just like you got to play with your friends. But I think there is something truly healthy about being like, okay, no, I'm gonna go play by myself. Like totally. There are other people around, but I'm gonna go play by myself. And that way we can come back and play together, and I'm not tying my like mental health to the people within my household. Yeah, that makes sense. It has to be it also has to be like organic, you know. You don't want it to be like like you said, you don't want us to feel like we're responsible. Well, not responsible, but maybe like
bearing the full weight of that and only doing it out of like, I don't know,
Yeah.
obligation or something.
Yeah, because that's not fun.
Yeah, at that point it's not fun. Yeah, you're right.
And
You're
that's
not, like,
that's
having
what
a
I was
good
talking
time.
about. Like that's what I miss is like
Mhm.
I miss. It's the same way I will like miss them as puppies.
Yeah.
Because you miss that like fun
Mhm.
of that time of being like, but that was such a beautiful time in your life.
Yeah, totally.
But like we don't live there anymore. So the stuff we're doing now that's fun is different.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So-
and just navigating that. Such is life.
Yeah. So,
What's one thing that you are proud of today?
proud of today. Well, I'm gonna future cast this because Caboose and I are gonna work out. Oh, actually, I don't fucking have to work out with him because he's gonna play volleyball in a bit. You know what? I'm proud that we're gonna go and watch volleyball.
Well, I need to work out, so if you're trying to work out after
Okay,
this,
we can work out.
I didn't know if you're taking a rest day though, so if you're
Oh no, I don't believe in those.
okay, perfect.
Also, come for me. Everyone knows their body. And
also, again, if you're prioritizing joy in your workout, you know exactly when, like what, like you said, I want to do handstand push-ups more than I want to snatch or something.
Dude,
so
I did-
therefore,
I literally did bench press with I think it was like 16-pound
You
dumbbell.
said, "Oh no!"
I was like, this is all I'm doing because I'm trying to save my shoulders because I want to do handstand push-ups.
Period.
And if I blow up my shoulders on this first part of the workout,
then it's
I'm
not gonna be fun. Then what
Exactly.
you were looking forward to isn't gonna be fun.
Exactly.
And there's nothing worse than that.
Mhm.
You know.
Yeah.
So you will know when
Well-
you need a rest, a full day. I mean, that's a
I
for you,
rested
that's a long
yesterday.
time. There
Yeah.
you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
No,
So you're fine.
I'll get back to a point where I'll probably hit this gym 5 to 6 times a week just because
Dude,
I'll
you're
be
gonna
having
get
so much fun.
so ripped.
Thanks. I'm really excited.
I'm very excited for you.
Yeah, I already I did the InBody from last week to this week.
Yeah.
And it was up 0.5 pound of muscle mass, which is exactly where we're supposed to be, you guys.
Period. That's awesome. That is fucking
Yeah.
awesome.
Okay. One thing you're proud of for today.
Oh, one thing I am proud of for today. I guess talking. Oh, I can't say. I will always say talking on the podcast.
You do. You got called out by like
totally
listeners.
fucking
being like,
always say that
always the
shit.
podcast is what you're proud of.
Always that. No.
Also, I'm gonna interrupt you really fast.
Yeah.
If you guys want to like tell us about your favorite parts of the podcast in person,
oh, please do.
never does it bother us. When you answer, like you're
Keep-
like, you asked this question, that was a stupid answer. It's my favorite. Please keep doing that.
Keep
I genuinely
going.
love it. It's so funny.
We had so many people tell us what their legs would be from the
Oh my
last
god,
episode.
so many people talked about their legs.
Their leg. What legs?
And
do you
Caboose said
have?
fish heads.
I was
But
like,
not
fucking
the
why?
tail, just fish heads.
And I
It
was
made
like,
so much sense.
It's like cat dog, but really it's just man fish. That
Man
makes
fish,
no
just
fucking
heads,
sense.
just their little mouths. Like,
Ugh.
yep.
Oh,
you're
they're
welcome.
probably stinky too. Gross. God.
But I like how you were like, so you'd have to stay underwater.
I asked him, I'm like, so you would have to like walk around in
Mhm.
plastic bags full of water, like
Yeah.
that you find in carnivals or some shit. And he's like, no, they'll be fine. I'll just sweat so much
Mhm.
that they can breathe. I'm like, that's disgusting.
Yeah. That's also interesting because he's not very sweaty.
I'm like, what's your plan then? You're gonna walk around and
You could do fish legs.
I-
Fish legs because you'd sweat enough.
I'd
Okay.
sweat enough.
I'm so sorry. What's one thing
No,
you're
you're
proud
good.
of?
All that time and I still don't have an
Oh, I tried
wait.
to stall.
No, you're
Okay.
good. Okay, now I have an answer. I remembered. My bad. I'm very proud of today. Just taking things at my own pace because I feel like normally I'd be like, all right, it's time to get a bunch of shit done, and I still haven't done my to-do list for today. But I'm not like beating myself up over it because genuinely I forgot that today was Sunday, which is
Yeah.
a good day to rest because I also I think Monday I'll feel better enough. I got a ton of shit to do on Monday. But anyways,
Yeah.
I thought today was Monday for the
No,
longest
today
time.
is Sunday.
But yeah, I'm
That's
proud.
why I was confused because some of your stuff, like places have to be open. I was like,
Yeah.
okay.
You
But
said,
I
huh?
figured on the drive
Did
last
you
night when you were
know-
talking about that, I was like, you'll just see.
Did you know their banks are open on Sundays here?
Oh, okay. Some banks in the States are open on Sundays.
I did not realize that.
I didn't
you
know
how
that
many
either,
times-
that they were.
You know how many times I've been in the, like, I had to do some, I don't know, random banking shit on a Sunday in the States and I couldn't go?
Yeah.
I would prank myself all the time. All
It's like
the time.
Chick-fil-A. The only day you want to do Chick-fil-A is on a
It's
Sunday.
on a Sunday and they're fucking closed.
Yep.
But,
Okay.
yeah.
What are you proud of this week?
Oh, for this week?
Mhm.
Is that the question? For the
Well,
what
it's
is
no more
it?
thing you're proud of.
Name one thing.
Win for the week. That's what
You
it is.
win for the week.
Y'all.
I was
This is what happens when you get home at 3 a.m.
I try to think about the question too. I'm like, what is the week one? I don't fucking remember what the week one was. My God, my win for the week is surviving the week. Jesus
Yes.
Christ. That's my win for the week is,
Mhm.
surviving with minimal damage occurred. And also, knowing that that is an option, even though very vulnerable, just asking people, hey, do you hate me?
If you feel that way about me, just be like, yo, you don't have to ask me to my face. That's super fun. You can just text me.
Do you
Be
hate
like,
me?
are you mad at me? Do you hate me?
Okay,
I
cool.
feel like you hate me. Because at any point in time, I can go on a 10-minute monologue of all the shit I love about you.
Oh my God.
Locked and loaded.
You're literally
So locked and
Leslie
fucking
Knope.
loaded.
Well, you're Leslie Knope when Anne's like, what does she say? She's like, oh, I just feel really bad. Don't you ever say that, Anne.
Yeah.
You're a beautiful starfish.
Exactly. I'm like, if you need that locked and loaded, I'm
Thank
just gonna
you.
come at you and be like, okay, let me tell you all the amazing things about you of why no one hates you.
Oh, the
Well,
camera's
some
even
people
telling
do.
us to fucking stop.
Okay.
What's your win for the week? I'm sorry.
Going back to CrossFit.
Some people do.
Yeah. Well, some people do hate you, but let them.
Oh, absolutely.
That's also the people that want to be like my besties. They hate you.
Yeah, you've got super
Yeah.
fans.
You've
here.
got super fans too.
I'm just like, yeah.
Yeah.
I guess I do.
Mm-hmm.
Do I? Here? Oh, yeah, I do. I'm sorry. I have a fucking goldfish brain.
Y'all. On that note, thank you so much. If there are any topics you want to discuss, or you just want to leave comments and share this and like and subscribe and wherever the fuck the buttons are on this thing. But most importantly, we love you and thank you for listening to us. And thanks for telling us the part you like and the part you didn't like. I like that people got mad about my leg choice.
That's
That
so
was
funny.
really enjoyable to me.
It's
Multiple people
everything.
hated the fact that I chose flamethrowers and told me how impractical it
Yeah,
was.
or what was your
And I
other
love this.
options?
Chainsaws. But chainsaws with flamethrowers. I still stand behind that. I would
That's
look
the
hot with
upgrade.
chainsaw legs.
Okay, yeah. I mean, people would be into that.
Yeah, I'd be hot with chainsaw
Me
legs.
being like, it's so original cyborg legs. Anyways.
Exactly.
Oh, Velociraptor legs. Okay.
Oh, that'd be dope. I would fucking, but I would have a dull little claw because
I
I'd
would-
want to,
Click all the time.
and they couldn't be velociraptors
We do
because
that
then
at
they'd
drag
be
shows.
tiny.
They're just
Just
yeah.
yes. All right, we'll see you guys back next week where we'll talk about wherever the fuck we want because it's our podcast and we just make shit up on the fly.
Period.
Bye.